What is up, everybody? My name is Big Cam. Welcome back to another Comically Boston. This is episode 188. I had 4 of these come out last week, one of them being the normal Monday weekly nerdy news, which we'll cover today. But there was also 2 episodes of Agatha All Along breakdowns that came out last week, and a breakdown for the Penguin series now on HBO, which that has been awesome, and we're going to talk more about it. But should be a fairly quick episode today, but let's get right into the news from last week, y'all. The Last of Us Season 2 is wrapped, and it seems that the new season is going to be coming early 2025, somewhere in that period for the Emmys, before the, the time period ends for the, the next year. So they're going to try and get in their performances of Pedro and Bella Ramsey as Ellie. They're going to try and get those in before, so the Emmy, they could get potential Emmy noms and stuff like that. Which I don't blame them, because I felt like they should have won more for this first season. And I think Pedro won the Golden Globe or one of those for his role as Joel. Comment below, are you a Last of Us fan? Did you play the games? Did you watch the show? Are you excited for season 2? I know I am. I covered season 1 on the channel back, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago? I don't even know when that came out, but I remember covering it for the channel and watching and playing the games. Loved it. Speaking of video games, the new Jedi Survivor game, right? So it was Jedi Fallen Order, then Jedi Survivor, and there's going to be a third and final Jedi game following Cal Kestis here in BD1, and this should be the final game, and EA is working on that right now, trying to get the script and everything perfect so that they can make one final badass game, because the second game really elevated from the first one. And I think they're going to try and do something similar from 2 to 3. So it might be a few years before we get Jedi Survivor 2 or whatever the title of the game shall be. But the theories online going around were, should this be the final time that we see Cal Kestis? Should he die at the end of the game? And my thoughts are no. My thoughts are the game's arc and story should end. But Cameron Monaghan's fucking phenomenal, so there should be no reason he can't make a cameo or show up in an Ahsoka or Mandalorian Season 4 or even any of those movies they're filming. He's at the level where I've seen him on TV a whole bunch, being phenomenal, and now in this video game. This man really needs a chance at a high-level movie, like a Star Wars movie, to really blow up that career even more, you know what I mean? But, speaking of Star Wars, moving on to the next topic at hand, there are some new look images at the Skelton crew. And we see one guy with a cyborg looking thing. He's got 2 things over his ears and a thing over his eye. That is Urkel from, Urkel. What is that show? Family Matters? But he's all grown up now, and he's in Star Wars Skeleton Crew as like a little background character. So that's pretty awesome. Shout out him. But you see the rest of the people here. The guy just to the left of Urkel there, our left, his right, he is back from The Mandalorian, so they're tying the shows together in that sense. So this must be around that same period, because that guy was a little scumbag pirate, you remember, from the most recent season of Mandalorian, I believe. But there's also a Wolfman, Wolverine, Wolfman, I don't know, a werewolf creature, and then some other aliens that look familiar to the Star Wars realm. But I love the Wolfman's got 3 guns on his chest. He's only got but 2 hands. What does he need the 3 guns for? But you know me, I'm in my spooky season right now, so I don't mind a werewolf or 2. And this last image of the Skeleton Crew shows Jude Law, and I thought he was supposed to be a Jedi. Why is he carrying around a pistol? Maybe he's more like Cal, and he's carrying around a lightsaber and pistol, and he gets to swing, swing, pew, swing, swing, pew. If you guys know what I'm talking about. But Jude Law here, got the chest hair poking out his top. And you see the crew of kiddos behind him there, and that one blue Max Rebo looking kid. There was a Lego set going around recently of the ship that they're on and the kids, and I was gonna get it, but I was like, should I watch the show before I buy this set? Maybe. Still looked like a pretty cool set, and that the minifigures look pretty cool, so I don't know, maybe I will end up getting it, but I do kind of want to know a little bit more about the show before I, get stuff like that. But Skelton Crew's coming around in December, so we're going to have a little bit of a Star Wars Christmassy vibe going on with that show. I'm into it, But moving on next, we have a whole bunch of movie posters that came out recently. And for movies that look pretty good. This first one's called Brothers, and it's going to star Josh Brolin, Peter Dinklage, Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, fucking love Marissa Tomei, and Brendan Fraser. And that's coming to Prime October 17th, so that's coming around the corner here. Family is a life sentence. And just the trailer I saw for that was hilarious, and the fact that Dinklage and Brolin are supposed to be brothers, like, that's going to be hilarious. It really is. And you could tell that, Brolin was probably like, alright, I need to do something funny. I've been doing this Dune stuff in the desert. Let me do something funny here with Dinklage. The next film we're talking about is Nosferatu from Robert Eggers. This is going to star Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin, and Willem Dafoe. Is Willem Dafoe Nosferatu? Probably Bill Skarsgård, actually, but still. New Dracula film coming, and that looks like it's in theaters Christmas. I think they missed their time market for that. That should be coming out around Halloween time, no? Who wants to see Dracula around Christmas time? I don't think that one's going to do well in the theaters at all. But come around next Halloween time, because it's going to miss this Halloween, I think that movie will do fine. Same thing with like a Violent Night, like I'm still waiting to see that. I should have watched it last year. I think that was 2 years ago it was dropped, but it wasn't dropped around Christmas, so I didn't want to see it. And then I missed it this last Christmas, so I'm hopefully going to get it around this Christmas. Drop some, preemptive Christmas movies down in my recommendations down there in the comment sections. I need some good recommendations if you guys have any spooky season or holiday season or just good movie recs in general. I would love to hear some of those down in the comment section below. Speaking of a holiday film, moving on to the next poster here. Red One, starring Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, and J.K. Simmons. And Red One, I do like the last three names I said. That's coming to theaters November 15th. That's going to hit your Christmas window a little bit better, but also kind of before Thanksgiving. So, I don't know. But it will probably be in there the whole month of December, so people will have some type of Christmassy movie to go see. And people like The Rock, people love Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons, Lucy Liu's a badass. I like that polar bear dude in the back. He's like supposed to be an elf or something. But I think this movie's going to be good. But I have heard some drama behind the scenes that The Rock was kind of a pest shooting this on set. I have trouble with Dwayne, right? Because Dwayne is great. I love Dwayne. I love him as The Rock. I love him as himself. But you can't really see him as characters, right? Like, I struggle to see him as anything other than himself, especially when he's got that big-ass bald head there. You just see his normal bald head. Where Chris Evans, right, like, even though he looks the same as well, I don't see Captain America in this. You know what I mean? I see whatever his character's supposed to be. Same with like Ghosted or anything else I've seen him in. Like he's funny enough and also a good enough actor that he falls into a role and changes his fundamental characteristics to be some type of character. And sure, his mannerisms still come out a little bit. His Boston accent comes out here and there. But I love that kind of stuff. It's endearing to someone like me. But at the same time, does Dwayne have any of that? I don't know. Moving on to the next poster. It's not necessarily a movie poster, but a TV show that's going to be coming out in November on Max, an HBO original. So we're going back to back. DC is going to drop their Penguin show, which is phenomenal. Go check out the breakdowns on the channel if you haven't already. There's one episode out. Next episode doesn't come out till Sunday, so stay tuned for Comically Boston next Monday. You're going to probably get a weekly nerdy news and a Penguin breakdown next Monday. But the Penguin itself, oh, he's so good. But the show that's going to be coming out right after that is going to be following Dune. But this is going to be set, I think, 10,000 years before the events of Dune in the movies. And this show is going to be called Dune Prophecy, following, I believe, that main Reverend Mother that we see in the first movie. But she's much younger, and she's been the plotting and planning to get to the point where we are for the last, looks like 10,000 years or however long it is. There's also a video game called Dune Awakening coming out, and that looks fucking badass too. But give me all the Dune content, man. If you're a Dune head, comment below. You know me, I love me some Dune, and I really hope by Oscar season that Dune Part 2 is not forgotten about, especially Austin Butler's character, because that was some shit. You know what I mean? Like, that was awesome, and we need more of it. But the next topic of news for today is Deadpool and Wolverine has dropped its Steelbook art. So we're going to be getting physical media for Deadpool and Wolverine, which I love, and they're going to make us buy it twice because it looks like they're both the same thing, but you could get a Deadpool cover or a Wolverine cover. You get 2 Deadpool discs, a Wolverine disc. It looks like the inside has like different variants on it. The back has a little Deadpool logo. I'm guessing the Wolverine one has a little Wolverine logo. I'm gonna guess there might even be another Steelbook that's half and half their face, and the back would be half symbol, half symbol. Either way, this one comes with, limited edition stuff, and it comes with the blooper reels and all of that, and the deleted scenes. I'm excited to see all of that and have some physical media back in my life. I normally haven't bought some things in recent years, but hey, might be time. Comment below though, are you going to be buying this physical media and Deadpool and Wolverine's new Steelbook? And I believe that comes out like October 12th. Don't quote me on the Steelbook date. But I did hear early October we're going to be getting Deadpool and Wolverine on Disney Plus, so that should be fucking awesome. But I think they're going to push that back as far as possible to see how much money that movie can make overseas in theaters and shit still, because it's still passing box office numbers around the world. And even in my local theater, there's still showtimes. Even though only like 2-3 seats are bought per showtime, it's still playing, Crazy. That was months ago, right? Like, it's September. Didn't that come out mid-July, end of July? So we're talking July, August, September. It's been a little over a month. It's almost October, so maybe almost 2 months. That's crazy. But as I was talking about before, Agatha All Along Season 1 and The Penguin Show are both running right now concurrently at the same time. One on Disney Plus, one on HBO Max, or just Max, whatever you want to call it. But the Rotten Tomatoes scores for Agatha are 80% fresh on the tomato meter from the critics with 93 reviews, and with 2,500 plus reviews, it's about an 80% on the audience score as well. So 80-80, that's a pretty damn good score for Marvel for a TV show, especially one that surrounds all these women and the witchy shit. So I was expecting much worse. I was expecting review bombs, all types of stuff. But me personally, I think that's a great score. I think it's what I would give 4 out of 5 stars. I might even give maybe a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Bump it up to like a 9 out of 10. But 80% out of 100, that ain't bad at all. That's a good ass score, and I would probably give it around that score myself. And I'm so excited to see where the remaining episodes of that goes. But also, speaking of Rotten Tomato scores, James Gunn's first 2 starts for the quality of DC Studios, no longer just DC. He has started his branch of DC Studios, which to me means all the projects that he has greenlit or signed off on between him and Peter Safran, but like, he's the head now. So there was certain stuff that they had to put out that had already been filmed and already had been stuffed, right? Like, so now this is, from here on out, it should be quality is our priority. DC Studios off to a good start. Between Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, has 100% on the critic meter and 100% on the audience score. And then The Penguin has 94% on critic score and 89% on audience score. That is 2 damn good scores to start off your studios with, you know what I mean? So shout out James Gunn, that's awesome. And I hope that his remaining things are going to be just as great in quality over, is the priority. And you got to think, like, out of the things that James Gunn's produced, these aren't, directly involved with him. They're still doing great. But we still have next year his Superman movie, Creature Commandos, which I believe comes out this year in like December or something. And then you also have, he started doing The Peacemaker. So I don't know, man. Peacemaker season 2 in his Superman movie, I'm ecstatic for. But this little documentary of Christopher Reeve, I can't wait to see. I'm assuming this is going to be on Max eventually, but right now it's in theaters. But the Penguin, man. Oh, if you haven't seen the Penguin, I cannot recommend enough. But just to end today's video, last week there was 3 new trailers for some films. First one being Den of Thieves Part 2. That's going to be out in January with O'Shea Jackson Jr., aka Ice Cube's son. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is a beast. He played Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton. He's done many films since. He was hilarious in the movie The Long Shot with Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. But Gerald Butler and him were in the first movie alongside like a 50 Cent and other people. But Gerald Butler this time is joining the cast of Thieves alongside this man here. So that trailer looked real interesting. If you want that trailer to be broken down or reacted to on the channel, comment those things down below. On to the next one. Gladiator 2, going to be coming out around Thanksgiving time, November 22nd. Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Connie Nielsen, Denzel Washington. That movie looks awesome. And apparently Ridley Scott already has an idea for Gladiator 3. Which, you know, let that man cook. And finally, comment below if you would like me to break down the trailer for the new Thunderbolts trailer officially dropped this morning. It will be out May 2nd of next year, and it says careful who you assemble, and you see people like, I believe that's Bill Pullman Sentry, Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan's Bucky, David Harbour's Alexei, the Red Guardian. You got Ghost up there, Taskmaster bottom right. You also look like you got a real scarred up shield here for old Johnny Mayonnaise. But I love how chaotic this poster is, and it really cracks me up. So comment below, what are you looking forward to most on the Marvel side of things? Are you more looking forward to Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, or Fantastic Four First Steps? All, I believe, coming out next year in the first half of the year, so stay tuned, y'all. We'll be talking Marvel deep into 2025, and thank you all for joining me, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.